My mother-in-law changed the locks on our house while I was at work, leaving me stranded outside my own home. Furious and betrayed, I'm pushing back against her overreach and my husband's excuses, ready to reclaim my space and set boundaries. Hey everyone, my name's Nora, I'm 28, and I've been sitting on this mess for a couple days now, trying to figure out if I'm overreacting or if I've got a legit reason to be pissed. I figured I'd throw it out here on Reddit and see what you all think, because honestly, I'm at my wit's end. This whole thing is about my mother-in-law changing the locks on our house while I was at work, and it's turned into a total crapshow. So, buckle up, here's what happened. I've been married to my husband, Ethan, for 4 years now. He's 30, pretty laid back most of the time, works as a mechanic, and honestly, he's a good guy. We've got a 2-year-old daughter, Lily, who's the light of our lives, but also keeps us on our toes. We bought our house about 2 years ago. It's a small fixer-upper, nothing fancy, but it's ours. Ethan and I both work full-time. I'm a nurse, so my shifts can get crazy, especially lately with all the overtime I've been picking up. Life's been hectic, but we've been making it work. Or at least I thought we were. Ethan's mom, let's just call her my mother-in-law, lives about 20 minutes away. She's in her late 50s, widowed for about a decade. And she's got this personality that's intense. She's the type who always has an opinion, always knows best, and isn't shy about letting you know it. She's been super involved in our lives since Lily was born, which I appreciated at first because free babysitting, right? But over time, it started to feel less like help and more like she's trying to take over. She'll show up unannounced with groceries we didn't ask for, rearrange my kitchen because it's more efficient her way, or make comments about how I'm raising Lily that sting more than they should. I've tried to brush it off because Ethan says that's just how she is. She means well, even if she's overbearing. Things started getting weirder about a month ago. Ethan's been working late a lot, fixing up cars for extra cash since we're saving for a new roof. I've been pulling 12-hour shifts at the hospital, so yeah, we're stretched thin. My mother-in-law offered to watch Lily more often, which was a relief at first. But then she started staying longer after we got home, like hanging out for hours, giving me advice about how to manage the house, or telling me I look exhausted in this pitying tone that makes me want to scream. I'd come home after a shift, dead on my feet, and she'd be there, sipping tea at my kitchen table like she owned the place. Then came the key situation. A couple weeks back, she asked Ethan for a spare key to our house. She said it was just in case she needed to grab something for Lily or if there was an emergency. I wasn't thrilled about it. I mean, she lives close, but not that close. But Ethan said it made sense since she's helping out so much. I didn't push back because I didn't want to seem ungrateful. Big mistake, apparently. Fast forward to last Tuesday. It was a brutal day at work, understaffed, patients yelling, the usual chaos. I left the house at 6 a.m., dropped Lily off at daycare since my mother-in-law had a doctor's appointment, and didn't get off until almost 8 p.m. Ethan was still at the garage when I texted him I was heading home. All I wanted was to collapse on the couch with a glass of wine and some trash TV. I pull into the driveway, grab my bag, and go to unlock the front door. Except my key doesn't work. I jiggle it, try again, nothing. I'm standing there in the dark, freezing my butt off, thinking maybe the lock's jammed or I grabbed the wrong key by mistake. I try the back door, same deal. At this point, I'm exhausted, confused, and starting to panic. I call Ethan, and he's like, "What do you mean it doesn't work?" That's weird. He says he'll head home, but he's still 30 minutes out. So I call my mother-in-law, thinking maybe she knows something since she's been around lately. She picks up, super casual, and goes, "Oh, yeah, I had the locks changed today. I didn't tell you." I'm sorry, what? I ask her why the hell she'd do that, and she says, "Well, I noticed your locks were old, and I didn't think they were safe. I was worried about Lily. I got a locksmith out this afternoon. It's all taken care of." I'm standing there, dumbfounded, holding my useless key, trying not to lose it on her. I ask why she didn't tell us, and she goes, "I didn't want to bother you at work, Nora. You're always so busy." Like that's an excuse? I tell her I can't even get into my own house, and she says, "Oh, don't worry, I've got the new keys. I'll bring them over tomorrow." Tomorrow. She expects me to just what? Sleep in my car? I ask her to bring them now, and she sighs like I'm inconveniencing her and says she's already in her pajamas, but fine, she'll come. Ethan gets home right as she pulls up, and she hands us the new keys like she's doing us a favor. She's all smiles, saying, "See, it's much safer now." "You're welcome." Ethan's just standing there, looking awkward, while I'm fuming. I thank her through gritted teeth because I'm too tired to fight, and we finally get inside. But the second she leaves, I turn to Ethan and go, "What the actual hell was that?" He shrugs, says his mom was probably just trying to help, and that I shouldn't make a big deal out of it. I tell him it is a big deal. She changed the locks to our house without asking. He says I'm overreacting and goes to bed, leaving me stewing on the couch. That's the main mess, but it's not the only thing piling up. Since then, I've noticed other stuff that's driving me nuts. For one, my mother-in-law's been acting like she's got free reign over our place now. She came over the next day with a spare key she'd already made for herself. Didn't even ask, just handed it to Ethan like it was no biggie. I told him I don't want her having a key anymore, not after this stunt. But he thinks I'm being dramatic. He says she's family, and we should trust her. I get that she's his mom, but this feels like a line got crossed, you know? On top of that, there's this weird tension with my sister, Bianca, who's 25 and lives across town. She's super close to me, and when I vented to her about this, she was pissed on my behalf. She's always thought my mother-in-law was too nosy, and now she's pushing me to stand up for myself and kick her out of our lives completely. Bianca's fiery, she doesn't mess around, and she's been texting me nonstop, saying I'm letting Ethan and his mom walk all over me. I love her support, but it's stressing me out more because now I feel caught between her and Ethan. Then there's my coworker, Cole, who's 32 and one of my best friends at the hospital. I told him about the lock thing during a break, and he laughed at first but then got serious. He said it sounds like my mother-in-law is trying to control us, and that Ethan's not stepping up like he should. Cole's blunt, he doesn't sugarcoat anything, and he's got this protective streak. He offered to come over and have a word with Ethan if I needed backup, which I turned down because I don't want more drama. But now Cole keeps checking in, asking if I've handled it yet, and it's adding this extra layer of pressure. The past few days, I've been replaying it all in my head. I keep thinking about how I felt standing outside my own house, locked out, like some stranger. It's not just the locks. It's the way she did it without a second thought. Like our home isn't ours, it's hers to manage. And Ethan's refusal to see why I'm upset is making it worse. He's been extra quiet lately, probably because he knows I'm mad, but he won't talk about it. Meanwhile, my mother-in-law's acting like nothing happened. She showed up yesterday with a casserole, waltzing in like she's welcome, and I had to bite my tongue to keep from snapping. I grew up with parents who were the opposite. Hands off, let me figure stuff out on my own. Maybe that's why this bugs me so much. I'm not used to someone bulldozing into my space like this. Back when I was a kid, our house was quiet, kind of chaotic in its own way, but it was mine. I'd come home from school, dump my backpack by the door, and nobody was hovering over me, fixing things I didn't ask them to fix. Now, I feel like I can't even relax in my own living room without wondering if she's going to show up and rearrange the furniture. The more I think about it, the more I wonder if I'm blowing this out of proportion. Ethan keeps saying she didn't mean any harm, and maybe he's right. She's always been pushy, but she's never been outright malicious. She adores Lily, and I can't deny she's been a huge help with her. But then I circle back to that moment, standing on my porch, locked out, and I get mad all over again. It's not just about the locks. It's about her thinking she can make decisions for us, and Ethan letting her. Bianca thinks I should tell my mother-in-law off and take her key back. No discussion. Cole's on the same page, saying I need to set boundaries or she'll keep doing crap like this. But Ethan's stuck on this she's family thing, and I don't want to start a war with his mom that'll make our lives hell. I've been trying to keep the peace, but I'm starting to feel like a doormat. Yesterday, I caught myself double-checking the locks when I got home, half expecting them to be changed again. That's not normal, right? So, Reddit, I'm torn. I want to confront her, tell her she can't pull stunts like this, and take that damn key back. But I also don't want to escalate things and make Ethan feel like he's stuck in the middle. I keep wondering if I'm making a mountain out of a molehill because I was tired and stressed that day, or if this is as messed up as it feels. Am I the one screwing up here by not letting it go, or am I right to be this pissed? Let me know what you think. I could use some outside perspective before I lose it completely.
Thank you for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the story. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss our daily updates.